Camelot331 here, and today I'm going to go over some horror stories from people that are still on the front lines, still fighting every single day to pay their bills. And how are they doing that? Dealing with some dumbass people out there. And I know I talk about the DMs, the RDs, the CEOs, everybody in leadership positions in the company. I know I talk about how bad they are. And they are. But the people that are working there still have voices, and they still have struggles, and they deserve their stories to be told just as much as everyone else's. So we're going to go over a few of those today and get a few laughs, get a few smiles, get a few tears, maybe not want to die as much. Probably not me. I'm incurable. This one gives me PTSD right here. Had a couple come in to return a Sesame Street video game and controller. They had a receipt from over a year ago. The game was scratched to hell, and the controller was full of dry soda. Ew. That's like my friend Jacob when we were growing up. Except it was his whole room. They said it didn't work anymore. Shocker. And were furious when I wouldn't give their money back. Like they were just standing there screaming at me. I was the manager at the time, so I didn't have a backup. It was crazy. Their kid was bawling, the lady was swearing like a sailor, and the husband couldn't finish a sentence. I'm pretty sure they were both super high, too. Great parenting right there. Sure just didn't happen in my hometown. So that was fun. I remember these kinds of situations vividly. I remember I had a guy one time. He came in with a regular Xbox. Okay? And it was like 2010 at this time. He came in with a regular Xbox with a receipt from 2005. 2005! It was 5 years old. And he's like, I want to return this. And I'm like, you want to return it? And he's like, yeah, just for, cash. And I'm like, it's been 5 years, man. Our return policy is like 7 days, 30 days, with your receipt, whatever. And he just got furious. And then he said, I'm going to go find someone who knows what the hell they're talking about. And I'm like, okay. Like, that happens so often. And it's so dumb. I bet it happens at other places, obviously. I mean, could you imagine working at McDonald's? All right? And somebody comes in with a Thomas the Tank Engine toy. And they're like, I want to return this. And the people at McDonald's are like, yeah, we sell food. And then they get irate. I'm surprised people don't come and try to return hamburgers at your place of retail. I mean, what the hell? Another one that hits home. I usually didn't say anything, though, because I was like, nah, I'd rather not get yelled at by a crazy mom. Them Karens are crazy. One time, a woman screamed at me because her kid was tearing open a toy before paying for it, and I kindly told him to wait a little bit. She seemed on the fence on whether she wanted to buy the toy or not for the kid. So I wasn't glad that her kid was already opening it. She then proceeded to scream at me for being really awful with kids, a horrible person, and bad at my job. Also, she wanted to complain to the manager if I ever talked to her kid like that again. She then angrily paid and walked off to the store. This happened all the time, especially in the more recent years where we got loot. Kids would just open stuff and play with it. And by God, if you said anything about it, Karen would rip your head off. She was literally like a spitter from Left 4 Dead 2. That's what she looked like. She always looked like that. It was terrible. I was in a trailer park kind of city. Everybody looked like spitters. It was basically Left 4 Dead 2. Alabama edition. I had kids stretch their little tiny arms out and literally run down a row of games and just knock them all off the shelf. And their mom would just look at me and be like, he's so energetic. Okay, bye. And I would just clean it up and determine on if I was going to drive off a cliff when I left work or not. I never did drive off that cliff, which is a shame. This one, we always have a story like this, and I cherish these stories because of the people that have to go through them. A 40-ish mom and a 7 to 10-ish boy come in the store, don't even look at merchandise, come up to the counter and ask to let the kid use the bathroom. Clarified she's not there to buy anything, but she has spent thousands of dollars in the store, which everyone always says if they ever need anything. Well, I've spent $1,000 here. It's like, well, you didn't give it to me. You gave it to the Gamestop and the CEO. It didn't go into my pocket, or else I'd let you use my face as a bathroom. You know what I'm saying? You give me a couple $1,000, you can just sit on my face. It's fine. We politely tell her we can't let customers use our bathroom because it's in the back of the store with lots of high-priced merchandise. That's a policy. We have cameras and corporate review the footage. Additionally, what we don't tell her is that the used game consoles that people sell back to us are stored in the bathroom. I'm sure those consoles were a hazmat, but I digress. Not to be unsympathetic to the kids' plight, we tell the mom that the pizza place next door let people use their bathroom if they buy something. And the cheapest thing is a $1 bottle of water. She starts flipping out on us and spewing expletives, which is very adult. Telling us she paid our salaries 10 times over and that we're going to hell. What? I'm sorry. If you paid somebody's salary 10 times over, I don't think that lady gave that store $400,000. She is insane. And if she gave me $400,000, her kid could use the bathroom anywhere he liked. Anywhere. On the ceiling, on the walls, on my car, on my dog. I don't give a damn. You give me $400,000, lady. Where's this lady at? We need to find this lady. She's loaded, man. Then, no joke, she tells her son to just go. The kid actually unzips his pants and pees all over the carpet in the front register. Then they left. I've never been so grossed out and dumbfounded. Had to close up for the day and half the next day while Gamestop paid to have our carpet sanitized. Resulted in a loss of pay for the weekend. Wonder what happened to that kid. He's got to be in his 20s by now. Rest in peace. If you've worked at GameStop before, this has probably happened to you. A gentleman comes in to buy one of our old 360 bundles. He brings it back a few days later and he complains it doesn't work. We start our normal troubleshooting methods in the store. We couldn't figure anything out. So I do a swap. Take his old system in as defective, then sell him a replacement bundle. I go through and try to wipe the system so we can ship it back to the warehouse. Cockroaches start crawling out of the system instead, and I freak out. I throw the system in one of our giant shopping bags, throw that in a box, tape it shut, and throw that in another bag. My manager tells me to just shrink it out, meaning we take a loss, and destroy it in the back. I take it out of the parking lot and have to throw it around to destroy it. These cockroaches freaking scatter like marbles on a floor. I'm dancing around the parking lot on my tippy toes to avoid the flood. It was awful. Oh my God. I'll never forget this one time. Somebody was like, hey, my 360 don't work. And you know that smell? You know the smell. When it smells roachy. That roachy smell that smells roachy. When they put it on the counter. And I remember turning a 360 on. And I was looking at the fan, which was a mistake. I turn on this 360 and roach bodies and legs, little roach legs, fly. They just sprinkle me on the face, and I was just like, oh my gosh. I'll never forget that. I breathed roaches in my body. They became me. I became them. I am part roach now, thanks to that 360. Damn it, roaches. Why? I hate roaches, man. To add on to the last story, two in a row. One night, a guy brought in a really dusty and dirty GameCube wanting cash for it. I asked him if it worked, and he said he didn't know because he hasn't played it in a long time. I told him that we have to check every console, and when I turned it on and opened up the lip, 100 cockroaches came out and ran all over the counter. Oh my God. But did the GameCube work? It might work now because all the roaches left. Here's something that is very common in every retail practice, and that is theft. I worked at a store where theft was a common occurrence, but this one dude, he nabbed one of the cheap controllers off the wall from the back of the store and puts it in his backpack. Then comes over to the counter. He reaches across the counter, opens a drawer, and steals a brand new game out of the drawer. Takes it away from the register, opens it, waits in line, trades the game in for $25. Then he asked me to look for something in one of the bottom drawers and steals the game back. He just traded in a second time. After that, he immediately left the store before I could notice he was gone. That guy was slick as hell. Now, to the person that sent this message, you ought to be ashamed that you got that ripped off. That's pretty embarrassing. He just completely ran you over the coals. When I feel a theft coming, I feel it like a spidey sense. You can just see a guy. He's like, hey, you know, but you didn't have that sense. You just let him take it. It's fine. Fuck it. This one's a little creepy. I was hired to help open a new store. A store where the manager was male and everyone he hired, female. He was trying to cultivate a hot Gamestop kind of situation. Word got around and we had people coming in to visit ours when they had other stores much closer to where they lived. They didn't really buy anything. They just kind of lurked for hours and chatted the staff up. There were days where they'd just wait for us to close up, which is a little scary. They're just out there in the parking lot, like 10 dudes looking in. They're just looking in. In the dark. What the I was eventually let go for not being friendly enough, which was apparently about 3 months before the manager had a total screaming meltdown during store hours, declared himself High Archangel, threw some stuff at a customer, and was later picked up by an ambulance. Sounds like my Saturday nights, y'all. So as you can see, there's still people there. They're still fighting. Not only are they fighting for a paycheck, but they're fighting through hordes and hordes of terrible customers that have no common sense and no decency, and they don't care about anybody working behind a counter. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. In any retail location you go to. Doesn't matter. You can be at McDonald's, or you can be at Walmart, or you can be at Target. Customers suck. They suck. And me as a customer, I've never got out of line with somebody, even when they deserved it. When somebody was like being rude to me, I'm just like, all right, that's fine, whatever. But, God, I just don't get it, man. I just don't get how people can go out and just be mean. One thing you'll notice, and I tweeted this once, one thing you'll notice is if you go around and are smiling, singing to yourself, and just having a good day, people will hate you for it. People hate positive vibes. They hate people being in good moods, and they hate people enjoying their life. So next time you're outside, next time you're in a grocery store, next time you're anywhere, smile, sing to yourself, and have a good day. Because the world needs positive vibes really bad right now. And we don't need more people that hate people just for being happy. So that's all I have. Thank you for checking me out. Check out my other stuff. Check out my streams. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's a great time. It's a great time. It's awesome. Thanks so much to my patrons. You keep me from living in a cardboard box. And I know there's a lot of nice cardboard boxes out there. But you let me stay comfortably in my house without being in one of those luxury cardboard boxes. And I appreciate it. Until next time, get on it. Doggone it. Bye. Yeah.